Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be looking at the last normal difficulty unique. I'm pretty sure we've already covered all the other ones. This one is called the Stormeye War Scepter. Now, the Stormeye War Scepter is a weird one. Like, it seems to have a purpose, but it doesn't really fulfill the purpose that it has. Like, you can tell what the purpose is, but it just doesn't fulfill it. And as we go over it, I think you'll see that too. So right off the bat, it is 22 to 37 damage, which is a little low for level 30. It could be a little bit higher. It does have a strength requirement of 55, and it is very fast attack speed without any increased attack speed, so it's just a base very fast on the Paladin. We do have 120% enhanced damage, which does vary from 80 to 120, which does exasperate the issue of it not really having quite enough damage, especially considering it can roll a lot lower than you see it here. The Stormeye War Scepter also has 1 to 6 lightning damage, which is like nothing. I don't know why it has 1 to 6 lightning damage. It's like absolutely nothing. It also has 3 to 5 cold damage, which is not bad because it does have a cold duration of 3 seconds, which can be useful to chill enemies. But that 1 to 6 lightning damage is... why? It also has +1 to Fist of the Heavens, which is a level 30 skill. And you know what that also means? That means that the Stormeye is worth 35,000 gold. Because it has a level 30 skill, the Stormeye War Scepter is always worth 35,000 gold. So despite the Stormeye War Scepter maybe not being something that you would rather pick up and use or utilize on a character, it should always be something that you pick up and bring back to town to sell for gold. Because 35,000 gold is kind of hard to turn down. Not only is the non-ethereal version worth 35,000 gold, but even the ethereal version is worth 35,000 gold. So keep that in mind. The +1 to Fist of the Heavens is nice if you're a Fist of the Heavens Paladin, but there are other items that you could find that might have like +1 all Paladin skills or +2 Paladin skills even, which could potentially be better for a Fist of the Heavens Paladin. We also have +3 to Holy Shock, which is interesting, and it would give you a pretty nice healthy bonus to your Holy Shock damage if you were a Holy Shock Paladin. +3 to Holy Shock could bump you up quite nicely if you had already built the synergies like Resist Lightning. We also have Resist Lightning, which it's really weird, this weapon. It's really weird because the +1 to Fist of the Heavens, the +3 Holy Shock, and the +5 Resist Lightning are all kind of tied together in weird ways, but none of the soft points actually do anything. So, like, if you look at Fist of the Heavens has a Holy Shock synergy. But soft points do not enhance Fist of the Heavens. Similarly, Holy Shock has a Resist Lightning synergy. But soft points, again, do not increase Holy Shock. So, it's almost as if the person who made this at some point was like, let me make a weapon that will be really good for a Fist of the Heavens Paladin or a Holy Shock Paladin, but didn't really understand themselves that soft points don't increase synergies. Now, this is probably a very old weapon, so it may actually have existed before synergies, and perhaps the reason that this weapon doesn't really follow along with kind of like the modern build techniques is because none of that existed. And in that case, if we judge it based on the merits of pre-synergies, it might have actually been a halfway decent weapon because it would have given you access to Fist of the Heavens, it would have given you a pretty nice bump to your Holy Shock, and it would have given you Resist Lightning to use when you went up against Gloams and things like that. Also, I forgot to mention that the Resist Lightning does vary from +3 to +5. Now, the very interesting thing about the Resist Lightning is that it can come in handy. So if you are a Paladin and you would like to, say, for instance, just have Resist Lightning for when you come across those Gloams, Resist Lightning can be very handy for when you come across Gloams. So if you had this, like, just kind of sitting in your stash, and when you went to go find Anya, and the frickin' frozen river was full of Gloams as it always seems to be. You could throw this on and be the hero for your party by running Resist Lightning, which would be pretty nice. We also have a pretty massive bump of Replenish Life here of plus 10 on this level 30 item, which will actually do quite a bit for you at level 30, so it's not bad. Now, the ethereal version also exists, which is 33 to 55 damage, 45 strength, and level 30. Unfortunately, you can't really utilize this very much. You could put it on for the plus to skills specifically, but you're not really going to be bonking things with it, because if you do, it's going to break relatively quickly. And I can't really see a lot of good use case scenarios for any other character who might want to get good use out of this in the ethereal form. It's just not really a good weapon unless maybe you could upgrade it and Zod it, which I really doubt that's going to be the case. Let's see what this upgrades to its exceptional form. I'm actually really interested to see how this upgrades. It may upgrade very well. So it's going to upgrade from the Stormeye War Scepter, which is 22 to 37, 55 strength, level 30, and it is a very fast attack speed item, just in case that changes. And it goes to the Divine Scepter, which is 35 to 85, 103 strength, level 35. So for a measly bump in 5 levels, we went from a minimum of 22 to a minimum of 35, and a maximum of 37 to a maximum of 83. Actually a very good upgrade for only a 5-level bump. Now the strength requirement did go up quite a bit from 55 to 103, but all in all, I'd say that was actually a pretty good bump in damage for a rather minimal bump in level. And you're still in normal difficulty with this, so not bad. It's also extremely cheap as well at Ral and Soul and a Perfect Emerald, so something that you could pull off with relative ease. We can also upgrade this in the ethereal version as well from 33 to 55, 45 strength, level 30, to 52 to 125, 93 strength, level 35. Again, not really a whole lot of uses for something like this, unfortunately, because it'll just burn the durability and break. Now, to upgrade this a second time to the elite form, we're going to need a Pull and a Lumrune and a Perfect Emerald. And I don't think this is going to upgrade well. It's probably going to upgrade very poorly, but I like to do it anyway just so that you guys can see it, and that way you guys don't waste a Pull and a Lumrune doing it yourself and be like, oh man, that sucked. So we're going to go from the Stormeye Divine Scepter, 35 to 83, 103 strength, level 35, to the Stormeye Caduceus, which is 81 to 94, absolutely terrible, 70 dex, 97 strength, level 78. That is god-awful damage for level 78. That's just yick. The ethereal version can also be upgraded from 52 to 125, 93 strength, level 35, to 121 to 140, 60 dex, 87 strength, level 78. So very poor upgrades to the elite tier, very good upgrades to the exceptional tier, and not really a super good item at the base tier. In fact, it seems like the Stormeye War Scepter is probably best used in its exceptional form at level 35. Go figure. Let's see where you could potentially find a Stormeye War Scepter if you want to get your hands on one over on Silo's Pen. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is look at bosses in normal difficulty. I'm going to go about 75% Magic Find because it's a relatively low-level item. And we're looking at Diablo in normal at 1 in 703, which was a pretty good easy farm. And then Bale at 1 in 755. So honestly, those are your two best bets there. In fact, I'd probably just do Diablo. And then as far as super uniques go, looks like we got Neelathak in normal. Not a bad choice. And topping off Diablo, it looks like Lord Decease, Infector of Souls, and Grand Visor of Chaos can all drop the item, as well as Shank, Eldritch, Doc Farron, Pendleskin, Thresh Socket, all extremely good choices for farming this. So I don't really think you're going to have too much of an issue finding one. To sum up this particular item, I have to say that it's a bit outdated, and it doesn't really quite serve, I think, the purpose that it was originally intended for. And I think that's really what's wrong with it. It also seems like the damage, like the lightning and the cold damage on it, are kind of just not really scaled properly. One thing I would really like to see done to a lot of these unique items is to have a lot of these elemental damage effects scale with level. Because a lot of the weapons have these elemental damage effects, which are scaled properly, like for the level of the item when you first put it on. But as you level up, they just fall off relatively quickly. And before you know it, your item that was doing like a decent amount of elemental damage at a low level is now doing relatively nothing at a high level, which is sad. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even when we are at the eye of the storm. And as always, paddle ashore. There's a frickin' storm, buddy.